Somewhere in China right now, 30,000 people are waking up, eating breakfast, going to work, hitting the gym, buying groceries, getting haircuts, and seeing a doctor, all without stepping outside a single building. One address, one roof, a population bigger than most American towns. Rent starts at $220 a month. In New York, that does not cover a week. In this city, it covers a month in the central business district of one of the most economically powerful places in Asia. The internet saw it and called it dystopian. It has a wait list because people actually want to live there. This is Regent International in Hangzhou. And the real story is nothing like what the viral videos told you. Why the internet got it wrong, the dystopian reaction, makes sense from the outside. The building is enormous, repetitive, and aggressively functional. Floor after floor of windows stacked in patterns that go on so long your eye loses count. No charming architectural details, just scale, repeated endlessly until the building stops looking like a place where people live and starts looking like a machine that houses them. But here is what changes the entire picture. Nobody was forced into this building. Every single person inside Regent International found it online, applied, paid a deposit, and moved in by choice. Many are young graduates who just arrived in one of China's most competitive cities. Many are freelancers, content creators, and small business owners. Some are social media influencers who built entire audiences documenting life inside. These are not people enduring the building. They are people who picked it. And the reason they picked it tells you more about what cities are becoming than anything the building looks like from a distance. The city that made this building necessary, Hangzhou, is home to Alibaba's global headquarters. It ranks among the world's top 100 financial centers. Over 11 million people live here. Housing prices are second only to Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen, the three most expensive cities in all of China. A young person arriving in Hangzhou without savings faces a very specific problem. The city has the jobs. The city has the opportunity. But rent prices eat half a salary before the month is a week old. A small apartment in the city center runs $600 to $800 a month minimum, before food, transport, or anything else. For a fresh graduate on an entry-level salary, the math is brutal from day one. Regent International solves that problem in the bluntest way imaginable. A small apartment without windows rents for $220 a month. A larger unit with a balcony goes for around $550. For Hangzhou, those numbers are not just affordable, they are almost unbelievable. You are paying less than most people spend on a gym membership in New York to live in the central business district of one of the most economically significant cities in Asia. That is the deal Regent International offers. And tens of thousands of people have decided the deal is worth taking. What this building was actually supposed to be here is the part almost nobody covers, because it changes everything about how you see this building. Regent International was designed in 2013 as a 6-star luxury hotel. Not a budget property, not a mid-range business hotel, a 6-star hotel built for guests expecting marble lobbies, concierge service, and rooms costing more per night than most people earn in a week. The architect hired to design it was Ada Dewi Liu, the same person who designed Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, one of the most iconic buildings on Earth. This was a serious, prestigious commission with an enormous budget behind it. Then, the economics changed. The hotel concept became unviable. The developers looked at Hangzhou's surging housing demand, looked at the building they had, and made a decision. Hotel rooms became apartments. Concierge floors became residential floors. The 6-star lobby stayed exactly as it was, which is why residents of what is essentially an affordable apartment block walk through an entrance that looks like it belongs in a 5-star resort every single time they come home. That lobby is the clearest physical evidence that this building became something nobody originally planned. The engineering behind the S shape you see in every viral photo was not chosen to look interesting. It was a deliberate engineering decision. A rectangular tower of this size would create enormous wind resistance, putting structural stress on the building and creating dangerous wind tunnel effects at ground level. The S shape breaks up those forces, distributing wind load more efficiently across the entire structure. It also means more units face outward, More apartments get natural light. More residents get a view. Every curve in that shape is solving a problem. The building ranges between 36 and 39 floors, with a total internal area of 260,000 square meters. Different sections connect through skywalks, internal bridges, and corridors wide enough for thousands of people moving simultaneously. Residents describe the experience not as being inside a building, but as living in a small city that happens to have a roof. What is actually inside gyms? Swimming pools, supermarkets, restaurants, food courts, hair salons, a clinic, a school. Not near the building, not a 5-minute walk away. Inside the building, accessible from the same elevator bank you use to reach your apartment. A resident can wake up, work out, have breakfast, buy groceries, get a haircut, see a doctor, and return to their apartment without ever touching a door that leads outside. That level of self-containment was not accidental. It was designed from the beginning because the building was originally a hotel, and hotels are built around one logic: give guests everything they need, eliminate every reason to leave. When that hotel logic got applied to a residential building housing 30,000 people, the result was a structure that functionally replaces not just an apartment block, but an entire neighborhood's worth of services, compressed into one address. The dark side nobody shows you, the windowless apartments, are where the conversation gets uncomfortable. The cheapest units, the ones at $220 a month, have no natural light. You wake up in artificial light, work in artificial light, sleep the same way. For a week, that feels like a quirky urban adventure. For months, it starts to grind. For years, the psychological accumulation of never seeing daylight from your own living space is a documented mental health concern, not just an aesthetic inconvenience. The social isolation is subtler, but arguably more significant. Regent International is so self-contained that residents have almost no practical reason to engage with the city around them. Everything they need is inside. Residents report knowing their immediate neighbors reasonably well and almost nothing about the neighborhood outside the building. The city beyond the exit doors becomes increasingly abstract. A place you pass through, not a community you belong to. Then there is the question nobody has publicly answered: emergency evacuation. A building housing 30,000 people across 39 floors, with interconnected towers, internal bridges, and skywalks. How does that structure evacuate during a serious fire or earthquake? The same network that makes daily life convenient becomes a potential liability when thousands of people need to move rapidly in the same direction at once. Why the rest of the world is studying this building. New York's average one-bedroom rent crossed $4,000 in 2024. London, Sydney, Toronto, all drowning in housing crises their planning systems cannot fix. Their solution: build suburban houses, extend commuter belts, consume farmland. It has not worked for 20 years. Regent International offers $220 a month in one of China's most expensive city centers. That price requires density, shared infrastructure, and concentrated population, things Western cities are politically unwilling to allow. The problem was never engineering. It was always politics. Urban planners worldwide are studying this building because it is the only real answer anyone has actually built. Would you live here? Drop it in the comments.